Good morning, everybody. Jeremy Brunansky here. It's Monday morning. It's 10 a.m. PST. We're live on YouTube, and we are going to get into this week's show. We've got a lot to talk about, but before we do all of that, I just want to say Happy Hanukkah to all of the Jewish watchers of this show. We got 8 days, right? Adam Sandler sang the song, 8 Crazy Days. So happy Hanukkah to everybody out there watching this. Hope you guys are able to enjoy the time spent with family and friends. Should be a good one, right? Should be a good one to close out 2018. All right. Also, thank you so much for everybody else for watching this week's show. Hope you guys enjoy it. We got a lot to talk about. We got some movie news to talk about. We have got one movie review. We're going to take a look at 2 certified rad stories because we only have 2 live episodes left this year after today's episode. So make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get the notifications when new content drops. And if you enjoy any portion of this show, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Thumbs up helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show right here on YouTube. Like I said, we've got a lot to talk about. Don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to bring everyone's attention down below in the description box. If you hit the arrow and expand it as we go through the show, the news stories, those articles that we reference, they're going to be down there for you to check out. Also, since it's Christmas time and we're moving into the holiday shopping season full board, right? There's some links down there to Amazon for some items that you guys might be interested in. If you want to start your own YouTube channel, your own Twitch stream, your own Facebook Live, your own Instagram TV, whatever the case may be, however you want to get your video content out to the interwebs, check down there in the description box. I threw some entry-level stuff to get you started. You might want to check out, or if you're watching this and you've got a friend or family that has been talking about wanting to do something on the internet with video, go ahead and check those out as well, because those might make a pretty good Christmas present or stocking stuffer. Because like I said, entry-level stuff, so it's not too expensive, pretty affordable. So go ahead and check it out. And we are going to go ahead and move into this week's show. Like I said, we've got a lot to talk about. Last week, we introduced a brand new segment, right? Since I'm doing movie trailers on this channel in the movie trailer playlist. Introduced you to my favorite trailer last week, which was Dead in a Week or Your Money Back. And this week, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take a look at another trailer that I did last week. I did 6 trailers again last week. So out of those 6, this is going to be my favorite. And then right after that trailer, we're going to jump back into this week's episode and take a look at some news stories, weekend box office, movie review, what's hitting theaters this week, DVD this week, and 2 certified rad stories. So let's go ahead and jump into that trailer review. This is going to be for Once Upon a Deadpool, right? So we've got a brand new, well, not brand new, but we have a revised Deadpool 2 coming out. It's going to be PG-13. According to the interwebs, we're going to get some new footage in this film that we didn't get in the rated R version. So a lot to think about, a lot to get excited for, right? But we'll have to wait and see what a PG-13 Deadpool looks like. But let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer and my thoughts on the trailer for Once Upon a Deadpool.
Right before Christmas, a good guy in red is coming to theaters with his new sidekick.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Jeremy Brunansky here with Brunansky's Vlog, and I just finished watching the brand new trailer for Once Upon a Deadpool, directed by Tim Miller. Overall, the trailer delivers on the message it needs to send, which is Deadpool is coming back to theaters as a PG-13 film. So we're getting a PG-13 version of Deadpool, and that is the entire purpose of this trailer. Outside of that, we get a lot of great comedy with Fred Savage and Deadpool just ribbing each other back and forth. Lots of clever dialogue. Fred Savage delivers some believable frustrations with Deadpool as he wakes up to find that he is tied to a bed, and they're trying to kind of go back and forth with this announcement that Deadpool is coming back PG-13. The closing line that Fred Savage has with the Beatles and Nickelback absolutely got a laugh out of me. Really enjoyed this trailer, even though it's just an announcement that Deadpool is coming back to let us watch it on the big screen, but this time in PG-13. So go ahead and check this trailer out if you want to laugh. Once Upon a Deadpool.
Once Upon a Deadpool.
Kind of prefer Marvel movies. We are Marvel. Yeah, but you're, Marvel licensed by Fox. It's like if the Beatles were produced by Nickelback. It's music, but it sucks. You were nicer as a kid.
Rated PG-13. Limited engagement in theaters December 12th.
All right, there you go. That is the trailer review for the Once Upon a Dead Time trailer. Again, For more trailer reviews, go ahead and check out the trailer review playlist. Just want to make sure I actually clicked the mic on this time. Last week I forgot. We went through a whole segment and had to redo it because I turned the mic off like some type of weirdo. All right, so the mic is live. You should be able to hear me. Hopefully everything is good. Check out other trailers on the movie trailer playlist. Now we're going to go ahead and move into this week's episode. We're going to take a look at some news stories, but first we're just going to take a quick moment just to send a shout out to everybody in the Bush family, because we just lost President Bush over the weekend. Really good president, in my opinion. I thought he did a really good job. Surprised that he lost, and he was only a one-term president. That loss was the loss that made me start paying attention to politics, because I did not understand how a guy who flees to Russia would ever win the presidency. That just confused me. I thought there's no way this could happen. It's a shoo-in. Bush is going to win a second term, and he didn't. And I went, wait a minute, what's going on in my country? This is super confusing. How did we just elect a guy president that ran away to Russia? So, you know, confusing stuff happens in life, but hopefully you start paying attention. And yeah, that's what happened to me with politics. So want to send a shout out to everybody in the Bush family. Condolences as well. Your dad was a great president. Never met the guy, so I can't really comment on anything there. But as far as his presidency and what he did for the country, definitely something to be thought of fondly with positive memories. And I hope that during this difficult time, you guys are able to rally together with friends and family and love and support and all of that. So thank you so much. I know that during the Bush presidency, we had probably one of the best SNL skits, right? With the Ross Perot, Dana Carvey, right? And how they were doing Ross Perot, Bush, and Clinton. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture, right? So a lot of great stuff came out of SNL during the 90s, especially with, you know, Bush, Clinton, Storm, and Norman Schwartz Saturday Night Live. So really good stuff, right? Dana Carvey did a phenomenal job with Bush. 1,000 points of light. Not gonna do it. So a lot of good stuff, really fun. If you have an opportunity while you're on YouTube, go back and watch some of those skits of Dana Carvey doing George Bush. Go back and watch the presidential debates with Bush, Perot, and Clinton from Saturday Night Live. I think that was some of the best material back in the 90s. Definitely check it out. But to everybody in the Bush family, thank you for giving us the opportunity to have your father step up to the plate to be president and then carry on a legacy with his family through other different things like governorships, as well as another son who became president as well. So let's go ahead and move now into this week's episode. We're going to take a look at the news segment, and we are going to take a look at weekend box office. So let's jump into that right now. Boom, there it is. And at the end of the show, we're also going to give you 5 recommendations for holiday songs that you can put on your holiday playlist for any Christmas parties that you may have planned, right? Some of these are going to be just 5. Some of them are going to be just bangers, right? Just kick the cubicles over, flip the desks, get that dance floor open. These songs are Christmas bangers that you guys can dance to. A couple of them, they might be a little bit slower as a way to say, all right, look, the party's winding over. You guys got to get out of here and get wherever you got to go. But we'll take a look at those 5 towards the end of the show, so stay tuned for those as well. All right, here we go. Let's jump into the weekend box office report. Again, all of this is down below in the description box, so hit that up if you have any curiosities about what else was in those articles. They're waiting for you. All right, coming in at number 5, I was able to get out this week to see Robin Hood, so stay tuned for my review on that, but let's take a look at what you guys were seeing. Coming in at number 5, we have Bohemian Rhapsody at $8,100,000. Coming in at number 4, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald at $11,200,000. Number 3, Creed at $16,832,863. Number 2 is Dr. Seuss's The Grinch at $17,730,000. And number 1, again, second week in a row, Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, coming in at $25,756,000. So out of these 5, am I surprised? A little bit. I am a little bit surprised today, not at number 1, right? Because if you saw last week's show, there really wasn't anything coming out last week. We had films that were limited release going wider, but we didn't really have any big new releases. So not too surprising that Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, is in the number 1 spot. My review for that is up right now if you want to check it out. I thought it was a pretty good film. I enjoyed I enjoyed how they brought the visuals to people and friendships who are growing up and growing apart, dealing with their insecurities and how those insecurities can manifest themselves into these destructive forces. I thought Wreck-It Ralph 2 was a pretty good film as far as like dealing with people growing up and growing apart. So check out my review for that. Dr. Seuss's The Grinch and Creed 2. This is the big surprise for me because Creed 2 is in its second week. The Grinch is in its fourth week. Creed 2 expanded into 100+ theaters. It got about 135 more theaters are showing Creed 2, and it dropped from number 2 to number 3. And Dr. Seuss's The Grinch moved up from number 3 to number 2. So that's pretty surprising to me. I haven't seen Creed 2 yet, but I did see The Grinch. You can check out my review for that on the movie review playlist. And I really like The Grinch. I think it speaks to how good the film is and the time of year we're in, right? With the holiday season, people wanting to get out and see Christmas movies that maybe they haven't had an opportunity to see yet. You don't want to go to the malls to do shopping, but you do want to get out of the house. So what do? You go see a movie, check out these films. Because for Creed 2 in its second week, to be in more theaters and drop a ranking, whereas Dr. Seuss's The Grinch was in less theaters, it dropped a little over 20 theaters less than it was the previous week. In its fourth week, it's in its number 2 spot, beating Creed 2. That says something about how much people are enjoying The Grinch, and where Creed 2 is kind of in the whole demographic of people going to see movies right now, right? So more adults, you can't take your kids. That's Creed 2, right? Creed 2 is a more adult film. It's family time, right? This is the holiday season. Families want to get out and do stuff together as families, whether it's going to a holiday event as a family, whether it's going to a movie as a family, going on vacation as a family. It's a family time of year. So I think that is really where we're kind of at with the difference between Creed 2 and Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. The demographics are definitely in favor of family things right now. And that's why we have Ralph Breaks the Internet and Dr. Seuss's The Grinch at 1 and number 2. I could be wrong. If I am, throw your opinion down there and let me know why you think my assumption or my basis for the number 1, 2, 3 spots is incorrect. Let me know. Curious to hear your thoughts and your analysis on the top 3. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, and Bohemian Rhapsody staying at the number 4 and number 5 from last week to this week. Not too surprising, right? Bohemian Rhapsody just crossed a milestone as far as movies that are biopics that are based on musicians. It's made the most money, right? So if you look down below, you'll see that in the ticker tape running there for honorable mentions. I had some problems with Bohemian Rhapsody just as far as the story is concerned, because I felt like they didn't know which story they really wanted to tell completely. There's a couple different stories and they were just like, we got to get all of this into a movie, squish it all into a movie. And I thought that was the biggest problem with the film. But Ralph Breaks the Internet, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, Fantastic Beasts, and Bohemian Rhapsody. All of these films I've reviewed, so check them out in the movie review playlist. Real quick, let's just take a look at the top 10. Green Book coming in at number 10, Widows at 9, Robin Hood at number 8, The Possession of Hannah Grace at number 7, and Instant Family at number 6. So Instant Family still hanging on in the top 10. Still doing pretty well in the box office. It had a budget of around $48 million. And it looks like it has almost made that back in gross. So it's doing pretty good. Again, family movie, holiday time, right? So, and the trailers look pretty good for it. And it's been getting pretty good word of mouth online. So, why wouldn't it still be in the top 10? We just did a whole thing about how family movies, that could be the reason 1 and 2 are the reasons 1 and 2 are. Instant Family is right up there, but it's not animated. So why wouldn't it still be in the top 10 following the same logic patterns for number 1 and 2? Makes sense, right? All right, there's your top 10 real quick. Green Book, Widows, Robin Hood, Possession of Hannah Grace, Instant Family, Bohemian Rhapsody at number 5, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald at number 4, Creed 2 at number 3, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch at number 2, and Ralph Breaks the Internet. Wreck-It Ralph 2 coming in at number 1 for the second week in a row. Again, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you see any of the films in the top 10? What did you think? Are you surprised that The Grinch beat out Creed for the number 2 spot when The Grinch is out now for 4 weeks, a full month in theaters, and it's still number 2 at the box office? Pretty impressive. All right, we're going to go ahead and move into the first news story. This is coming to us from Hollywood Reporter, and this is Guillermo del Toro is talking political Pinocchio film and confirms it's going to be a stop motion animation film. That sounds great, right? You tell me Guillermo del Toro is doing a movie, my ears are up. I'm interested to hear more. He has a visual style that is very specific to him, just like Tim Burton has a very specific visual style. And it's just a very different, darker, kind of crazy, weird, but still awesome, like atmosphere and world that both of these guys create. And I'm a fan of it. So when I heard he was doing Pinocchio, I was like, oh, this could be cool. And then now I find out it's stop motion animation with Netflix, and I'm like, still sounds cool to me, right? Sign me up. Curious to see what he can do with stop motion animation Pinocchio. In the article, he says this is direct from the article. So again, hit the description box, click the link for more. But in the article, he says, quote, "It's not a Pinocchio for all of the family." And they ask him, is it political? He says, of course, Pinocchio is set during the rise of Mussolini. Do the math. A puppet during the rise of fascism. And then he goes on a little bit further to say that he's a creature that is created through unnatural means from a father that he distances himself from and has to learn about failure, pain, and loneliness. And he wants to do stop motion because he feels it's more expressive than working with actors. And he even goes on further to talk about how it's easier to do political films when it's fairy tale and fantasy, because if he comes at you directly with a political point of view, you might shut yourself down, versus if he starts his opinion on politics with Once Upon a Time in a Land Far Away, right? So very curious to see what this story is going to be about, right? Obviously with fascism, if you are a fan of history or anything like that, you're going to know that these government agencies come in and they start indoctrinating people, and then, you know, families can be divided, friendships can be divided, and they try and work these mindsets of the young people, right, into these certain structures of belief. If you saw the movie Swing Kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Swing Kids is a fantastic movie that really takes a look at this whole concept that Guillermo del Toro is referencing right now between friends during the rise of Nazi Germany and swing music and swing dancing and everything else. Great film, Swing Kids. Check it out. Very emotional. Towards the end, it gets very emotional, but really good story. So get ready, right? It's going to pull on the heartstrings. It is going to tax you emotionally, but it is definitely worth it. Swing Kids. But I think that's kind of what he's talking about here with this Pinocchio, right? Because, you know, Pinocchio, he goes off and gets like, you know, I think it's Stromboli, I think is the guy's name, just coming off the top of my head here. But, you know, he gets pulled in and everything like that. And so there's that whole story about how he's kind of following the crowd and he gets sucked into this other world. And then I believe the villain's name is Stromboli. I could be mistaken on that, but I thought it was Stromboli. And so you have the whole story with him trying to get away, right? So this definitely lends itself from what he's saying to that type of story of indoctrination, kind of rewiring the brain of the young people, right, to kind of fall in line with this whole belief and mindset, right? So could be very interesting stuff. It could be a very interesting take on politics, 1930s Italy, Mussolini. And then with Guillermo del Toro's visual style, I mean, hey, what's not to like there? So very curious to see this film once it does hit, because it does say in here that he's going to be working with Netflix. So that's good news, right? Because as soon as it's ready, 12:01 a.m., boom, it's online and we can watch this bad boy. So curious to see kind of what else is going to be done for this. Looking forward to that first trailer. But this definitely has my interest. This definitely has my interest peaked at 100%. So crank it up to 11. That's where I'm at on wanting to see that first trailer for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. All right, let me know what you think in the comments section. Are you excited about a Guillermo del Toro stop motion animation Pinocchio film? Yes or no? Boom, hit that comments. All right, next article coming to us from Screen Rant. This is the Avengers Infinity War directors explain how the Soul Stone works. Now, if you're a faithful watcher of the show, you know in previous episodes we have hypothesized and speculated about where the Soul Stone could have been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Before Avengers Infinity War came out, I threw the gauntlet down and I said, I think the Soul Stone is in Wakanda. And that was what gave Wakanda the ability to like have that herb that allows them to go and visit the plane of the dead, right? So they can talk to the dead ancestors to get the wisdom of everybody that's led kind of their tribe before. So I theorized and hypothesized that that is where the Soul Stone was. Coffee break. But it turns out that was not the case. But in this article, it really has me curious then as to what's going on with Wakanda and how they got the technology they got. Because in the article, it says, and this is from, and again, this is coming to us from Screen Rant. Says that the Soul Stone, quote, the Soul Stone obviously has the ability to manipulate your soul, the essence of who you are. A key moment is used when Doctor Strange turns into multiple Stranges. This is during Infinity War. And then Thanos uses the Soul Stone to eradicate all of the fake Stranges and shove Strange's soul out of his body. And you see that when it gets pushed back, and then Strange has to pull himself back into his body. Of course, Thanos goes to the Soul Stone itself to speak with his dead daughter. So he obviously, quote, he obviously has an ability to resurrect, conjure the spiritual representation of people who are dead. Again, what is going on with Wakanda? This opens up even more questions now for Wakanda. If they have that herb, how did they get that herb? How did they figure out, like with the vibranium and everything else, how did they get the exact same power that the Soul Stone has? This is a big question I have as far as moving forward in the MCU. I don't know if that's going to be explained. I don't know if that'll just be a thing that's out there. They might do something to explain it. They might not. I don't know. But if in Wakanda you take the herb, right, and you can talk to the dead, and they've got all this futuristic technology that is way advanced beyond anything else on the planet, and they've got the vibranium and everything else. Like if you saw Black Panther, you know, in the 90s, they had spaceships that could go invisible. So they've got all this advanced technology. Where did they get it from? Were they visited by aliens? Did the Soul Stone somehow, did they have it at one point and it was taken away? Like, what is going on? I am curious. I would like to know, because just based off of what the Russos said in that little clip from the article, that's exactly the thought pattern I had when we talked about the speculation of where the Soul Stone could be and why I thought it was in Wakanda, in the mound, right? In the vibranium mound, where they get the plants to talk to the dead. And then it says here that the Soul Stone has the ability to resurrect, conjure the spiritual representation of people who are dead. So now I'm even more confused about how Wakanda got to be Wakanda by the time we actually meet it in the Black Panther movie. So let me know, what do you think? Did you read the article? You should. It's pretty good. It goes through a couple different things as far as how they came to the idea that the Soul Stone was going to be pivotal for this story, and how they used the Soul Stone to actually take Thanos on an emotional journey with us and make him complete and fully three-dimensional. So he's not just a villain running around collecting artifacts, right? He's actually has motivation. He's got real consequences. He's got purpose. He has suffering. Like, it's the full gambit of emotions with Thanos as a villain, and why Avengers Infinity War really is the story of Thanos. So interesting article. Definitely like the excerpts that they pull out of the interview. But again, it raises the exact same question I've had, because I thought the Soul Stone was what gave Wakanda that ability. Now it turns out I was wrong. It's been on this planet with the Red Skull. How did they get this ability? That's my question. Curious. Wonder if it'll be answered in future Marvel films. It might not be. We may just forever be wondering. Who knows? But definitely worth your time. Check it out. Let me know in your thoughts. What do you think about the Soul Stone and Thanos and Avengers Infinity War? Hit up the comments section. All right, that's it for the news this week. We're going to move now into the movie review section. Like I said, I got out to see one film. That was Robin Hood. So Robin Hood is the film we're going to take a look at real quick. Spoiler alert, it was actually better than I thought it was going to be. Go figure. So stay tuned for that. And then after that, we're going to take a look at what's hitting theaters this week, what's arriving on DVD and Blu-ray for your home theater this week. And we are also going to take a look at 5 Christmas songs that you can add to your holiday party playlist before we sign off and I let you guys get back to your Monday morning. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a look at Robin Hood right now, and then we'll be back to talk even more movie, news, reviews, and more. Castles, knights, swords, bows and arrows. No, I'm not talking about Monty Python or the knights who say knee. We're here to take a look at everyone's favorite robber who steals from the rich and gives to the poor. So, does Robin Hood deliver on the action promised in the trailers? Or should we just enjoy the Disney animated classic instead? Let's talk about it in this review. The movie begins by showing us the budding relationship between Robin and Marion. That is, of course, until the Sheriff of Nottingham sends a draft notice to Robin's house, pulling him into war to join the Crusades. From there, the movie takes a quick turn into a straight-up action flick that almost feels like a special forces type of war movie. Instead of snipers with rifles and machine guns just firing off and bearing down on Robin and his team, these guys use giant machine gun style crossbows that shoot larger than normal sized arrows at Robin and his team from the rooftops down. It's nonstop action like this that really made this an enjoyable and entertaining straight up dude action flick. The story here is also very different from a previous Robin Hood film, Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, in many ways. One of the ways in particular is that that film actually spent time really developing the relationships between the characters. Whereas in this film, we just have a very basic general understanding of who the characters are, how they relate to each other, and how that just moves the plot forward. As well as how do those relationships actually set everything up for a possible sequel. But make no mistake, the main focus in this film was action. It's punching, bows and arrows, swords, bombs, and horses jumping across rooftops. It's even melted steel that looks like lava being poured into a city street as two men fight each other while riding on horseback, trying to escape the hot molten lava that is trying to devour and consume both these men and their noble steeds. It's also buildings exploding. And then there's an occasional kiss where sparks fly. I'm just kidding, sparks didn't fly, but there are passionate moments between Robin and Marion which are to be expected. Overall, I found the story to be entertaining. I thought the action looked pretty good. And again, we understand why everybody is doing what they're doing and how that action and how their relationships all drive the plot forward, leading us to a possible sequel. However, since this film's primary focus seems to be action, we don't really get a lot of character development beyond just the surface level stuff. Okay, here's some people, here's kind of what they're doing, here's why they're important to the story. All right, that's enough. Back to the action. So while I would have enjoyed a little bit of a deeper dive into these characters and the relationship dynamics that form, that lack of it really wasn't a deal breaker for me. We find out and we see that John's son is literally killed right in front of him. He's beheaded by the sheriff's crusaders. We also find out that when Robin returns home from war, the sheriff has declared him dead and seized his property. So for them, their story basically is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I get it. And as you just heard again, Robin is assumed dead because of the crusades. So Marion decides she needs to move on with her life. She finds another guy and she gets married. Eventually though, she finds out, as does her husband, that Robin is not dead and Robin is back and Robin is now Robin Hood, and that leads to their marriage falling apart. So in this film, broken hearts produce a crazy revenge-fueled guy who eventually wants to become and does become the new sheriff of Nottingham. Kind of extreme, I guess, but that's fine. I mean, I just watch guys riding horses over rooftops while shooting each other with arrows, but that somehow still feels more believable to me than a guy who's like, I gotta get revenge, I'm going crazy, why don't I become the sheriff? Whatever though, I mean, we gotta set it up for the sequel right, and every sequel needs a villain. Thankfully, the action looks good. Robin Hood is playing at your local movie theater right now, and I'm actually not going to recommend a big screen viewing of this film. However, I will recommend you check it out once it's available on Redbox or your preferred streaming service. This is a perfect Sunday afternoon on the couch action flick. As a film, it doesn't ask a lot from us emotionally or mentally, and the action looks pretty good. Additionally, the pacing of this film stays pretty consistent and it moves pretty quickly from beginning to end, which actually makes the film feel shorter than the almost 2-hour runtime it has. However, my big issue here was we don't get a lot from the characters and their relationships and character development, so because of that, Robin Hood will only be getting one high five from this guy. Robin Hood is playing at your local movie theater right now. Boom, all right, and we are back. There you go, that's my thoughts on Robin Hood. For other thoughts about other films, go ahead and check out the movie review playlist. It's waiting for you. All those films. And then also, again, don't forget to check out the movie trailer review playlist. We've got all kinds of trailer reviews up right now. Adult films, kid films, family films, comedy films. Wait, not adult like dirty adult. Like normal, like rated R adults. Let me just clear that up before we start a whole weird cycle of rumors there, right? Like rated R adult films that you can go to a normal theater and see, right? That's what we're talking about here. Don't get crazy. Don't blow it out of proportion. Stay focused, people. Stay focused. All right, let's go ahead and move now into what we are going to be looking at as far as films hitting theaters, normal films hitting theaters this week. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's take a look. We've got Schindler's List. Wait, what? Yes, that's right. The 25th anniversary. That is hitting theaters again. Schindler's List. We've got Mary, Queen of Scots. We've got Vox Lux and Ben is Back. Now, I know some of you are probably going, Jeremy, this isn't playing in my area. You are correct. These are, for the most part, limited release, but we don't really have a lot of options this week, people. Not a lot of stuff going on, but we do have Schindler's List, 25th anniversary. So Here is what I would recommend if you have not seen this film on the big screen and you are a millennial. I would definitely recommend checking this film out on the big screen. I enjoy this film. It is very emotional. It is a very powerful film. Definitely worth your time revisiting this on the big screen for sure. So check out Schindler's List. Great film. And again, if you're a millennial and you have grown up only seeing this from the comfort of your home, you definitely need to hoverboard your way over to the movies and check this film out. Mary Queen of Scots, looking forward to this one. The trailers have really impressed me. I think it's going to be a very powerful and dynamic performances from both Saoirse Ronan and, oh my gosh, I just totally spaced on her name, and I am such a fan of hers. This is embarrassing. But you're going to want to check this film out for sure. Margot Robbie. There we go. Holy cow. Margot Robbie, Saoirse Ronan. Definitely looking forward to their performances. Vox Lux looks interesting. Not quite sure what the delivery on the film is going to give us, but the trailers have piqued my interest. I did a review for one of the trailers. You can check it out. Ben is back. This looks like this is going to be a powerful performance. Definitely looks like it's going to be an Oscar. Like, this is coming out for Oscar season, right? So definitely recommending you guys check these films out if they're playing in your area. Ben is back looks emotional. Like I said, this looks like it is an Oscar season performance from everybody involved. Vox Lux looks interesting. Mary Queen of Scots, definitely looking forward to this. And Schindler's List, attention millennials, you need to see this on the big screen. So go ahead and check those out. All right, coming out on DVD and Blu-ray this week, we have Happy Time Murders, Operation Finale, The Nun, and Mission Impossible Fallout. Out of these 4 films, I saw and reviewed the Happy Time Murders, Operation Finale, and Mission Impossible Fallout. Did not see The Nun. If you saw The Nun and you think people should see it, that's what the comments section's for. Leave your thoughts down below. Happy Time Murders, I enjoyed. This is a very adult movie. Don't let the puppets fool you. This is not for kids. This is adult. This is rated R. This is an adult comedy. So I had a very good time with this film. Surprisingly, I didn't know what to expect, but I expected there was going to be some, dirty humor and stuff like that, and I was not disappointed. The story is surprisingly good. Check out my full review for more, but definitely this was a surprisingly good time. So check it out. Operation Finale, again, just like Schindler's List, and other films that deal with the whole World War II and Nazis and everything else. Operation Finale impressed me. I wasn't surprised because I had an expectation for how good the film was going to be, and it met that expectation. And then also Mission Impossible Fallout, I really, really liked. Really liked. I thought this was a great film for the franchise. I thought it wrapped things up nicely. It really ties things together. If you're a fan of the Mission Impossible Fallout films, this will not disappoint you. And there even is an occasional moment of cheesy dialogue, which just let us know that this film still knows how to have some fun. So check that out as well. All right, that is it for there. Now we're going to take a look at Certified Rad. We have 2 Certified Rad stories this week. That's right, 2, because we only have 2 more live episodes left this year. That's it. And then we are done with the live episodes for 2018. It'll be Christmas and New Year's. What is going on? Where did 2018 go? Flew by. I don't know about you, but it flew by. All right, so we've got 2 news stories today. Both of these news stories are down below in the comments section or in the description box. First story is coming to us from Fox 13 out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Fox 13, Salt Lake City, Utah is dropping a story about how the Mormons, the LDS Church, is doing hashtag Light the World with giving machines that support local and global charities. So if you're saying, well, how does it help local and global charities? Well, Fox News 13, Salt Lake City, Utah, they go into the description on how it does that. They have these unique vending machines called giving machines. And there's 5 of them right now that they've got. And those 5 are located in Mega Mall in Manila, in Manila, Philippines. There's one at Hyde Park Chapel in London. There's one outside of the Manhattan Temple in New York City, and in Gilbert, Arizona at the Water Tower Plaza here and then there's one at the Joseph Smith Memorial Building lobby. So there's 5 of these machines right now in the world. So if you live in the Philippines, in Manila, Philippines, if you live in Hyde Park in London, if you live near the Manhattan Temple in New York City, or Gilbert, Arizona, near the Water Tower Plaza, And then also at Joseph Smith Memorial Building, you can go check these out, and you're able to purchase a variety of items from soccer balls to livestock, people, livestock, cows, goats, sheep, livestock. So you can go pick up a soccer ball and a goat from this machine. You can go pick it up and then you donate it through that machine to local and global partner charities. Right now, donations last year, they said over 282,000 meals were able to be accumulated through the donation process, serving folks in the state of Utah and abroad. So there you go. If you want to help people in other countries, you can, if you live in one of these 5 areas, you go to this vending machine and you can buy them clothes. You can buy them a goat. You can buy whatever the vending machine has to offer for people in need in those areas. So go ahead and check it out, check the article out. And then if you live in the areas, maybe go check out the vending machines and see kind of more along the lines of what it is. Because it sounds pretty interesting, and it's the holidays, right? So it's the time of giving and thanks and everything else. So definitely interesting. Fox 13, Salt Lake City, Utah. That's where the article is coming to us from. Check it out, because when you can figure out a way to bring vending machines using modern technology into key points that you feel are important, key areas that you feel are important, and those vending machines can send food and everything else worldwide, you can guarantee that that's certified rad. All right, so that's the first one. Second certified rad. Oh, both these articles, by the way, my mom recommended one, my dad recommended the other. So there you go. Thanks, parents, for these recommendations for certified rad this week. They definitely are certified rad. Second article is coming to us from ArizonaFamily.com. This is an autistic teenager shines in North Scottsdale Baseball League. So again, this is ArizonaFamily.com. You can check this link out again down below. Scottsdale, Arizona, Johnny Samolinsky is a young teenager who has autism. And what's interesting about this story is he is a really good pitcher, a baseball pitcher. According to his coach, Jeff Lockridge, he throws bullets in the North Scottsdale Cal Ripken Baseball League. He says, quote, he's one of those kids who's unique to his age group because he really knows how to use his lower body to push off. He's a heck of a pitcher and our best arm. And when it comes to championship time, that's who's on the mound for us. So, you know, people all the time are like, well, what can we do, with kids who have autism or stuff like that? Do they need, special things, right, to help them learn, to get them educated? And in this article, it's showing that even a teenager with autism can still find incredible self-worth in baseball, which is awesome, right? So you have this kid who's a phenomenal pitcher, so much so that his coach is like, yeah, when we get to the championships, he's the guy that's on the mound throwing the heat for us. That's amazing, right? So definitely check this out, because it even talks a little bit about like the fans cheering for him and everything like that. He's been diagnosed with autism since he was 4. He had physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. And what happened? He grew up to be an incredible pitcher for this league, and the coach loves him, and so do all the fans and his teammates. So when you can rally behind someone that you see their potential, even if they have a disability, you see their potential, and we can definitely work with you, and then you can help them find their self-worth, and you can help build their confidence. Come on, you can guarantee that that's certified rad. So there you go, ArizonaFamily.com. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for the recommendations on both of these articles. Hope you guys enjoy reading them as well. I think they're both certified rad, and that's why we're talking about them today. All right, now before we sign off this week, like I said, we've got 5 Christmas songs. We're going to take a look here over the next couple shows at Christmas songs you can add to make your holiday playlist, your Christmas playlist, bangers, right? Not all of them are going to be bangers. Not all of them are going to inspire you to cut the rug and shimmy and jive all over the place, right? But some of these songs, definitely bangers. Knock the cubicle walls over, flip the desks, move the couches out of the living room, open up a dance floor. That's what some of these songs are going to do for your holiday playlist. So real quick, down below, you might be going, Jeremy, I can't write these songs down. Don't worry. Thought about it already. I've got you covered. All 5 of these songs are in the description box. So expand the description box. They're right there, already written down for you. You can come back and revisit them if you forget. But definitely think you should add these 5 songs to your holiday playlist for your Christmas party this year. And those 5 songs are, first, this week, I'm recommending Michael Bublé's It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. I think this is a good starter song. Get it going right as party starts, let's say at 7. Nobody should be showing up at 7, right? That would be ridiculous. But maybe people start filing in 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock. But you're going to need those easy songs to just kind of get the mood going. Michael Bublé's It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. Definitely a good one to start the song. Then we're going to jump into some bangers. And we're going to go with Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande. All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. And Santa's Coming for Us by Sia. Now, if you are hearing that, you're like, Jeremy, Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You is so played out. I got news for you. You're played out. This song is a banger. It still holds up. Take your negative attitude and get off my show. That is definitely a song you should have on your playlist this year for your holiday Christmas parties. I don't care how old it is not played out. It's still a banger. All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey. Santa Is Coming for Us, Sia. Santa Tell Me, Ariana Grande. And It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Michael Bublé. Finally, song number 5. You got to let people know, right? You can't just, I mean, maybe you can, but you can't just walk up to people and be like, look, you got to go. The party's over. Hopefully you don't have to be that guy. Hopefully you can set the mood with the music to let people know, all right, we're shutting this bad boy down. I got to get to bed because it's late, right? So songs for transition. I'm going to give you one right now. It's going to be Frank Sinatra's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. This is definitely going to slow the mood down, and it's going to let people know maybe you should get out of my place or get out of the office because we're closing this party down. So there you go. Frank Sinatra's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas by Michael Bublé. Santa Tell Me, Ariana Grande. All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey. And Santa's Coming for Us by Sia. There's 5 recommendations for your holiday playlist. Add those songs, and then next week we'll take a look at even more Christmas songs that you can add so that by the time Christmas Eve comes around and you've got your party going, you've got at least 15, right? 5 a week. At least 15 songs for your playlist to build out to ensure that everybody is having a rock and roll Christmas party good time. All right, I'm Jeremy Brunansky. That's it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me again this week. We only have 2 episodes left this year, so make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get the notifications when new content drops. Give me the thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because the thumbs up helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show right here on YouTube. And I hope you guys are able to get out and enjoy some of the films that are hitting theaters this week, some of the films that are in theaters this week. Attention, millennials. Go see Schindler's List if you have not seen this on the big screen, right? Definitely worth it. Powerful experience on the big screen. Check this film out. 25th anniversary. All right, long-winded Jeremy has taken over. We're well past 40 minutes, which means we're way past 30 minutes, which is what we shoot for on this show. So my apologies for going long. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Have yourselves a great week. We will see you next Monday right here on YouTube at 10 a.m. PST. But until then, and as always, folks, good night and good luck. Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy Brunansky with Brunansky's Vlog, and you've just finished watching another brand new episode right here on YouTube. Did you enjoy it? Oh, you loved it. Fantastic. Since you loved it so much, go ahead and give me that thumbs up, because the thumbs up helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show right here on YouTube. Also, don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications when new content drops. For example, I made a short film, and you can check it out right over there, and any other number of things, DVD reviews, movie reviews, etc. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Monday at 10 a.m. PST right here on YouTube. Take care. Bye-bye.